Guys, what's going on? Nick Wood here, the king of digital real estate. Let's talk about backlinks. First and foremost, when I started this business, when I got into rank and rent, as I now call it, rent, then rank, this was 2016. I didn't even know what SEO stood for, my friends. I did not know that stood for search engine optimization, nor did I know what that meant. So if you're sitting there going, man, I just don't have any technical know-how. And yeah, all of us started in this in a different area. Many of us started not knowing even what a domain was. That's where I was at. So if you're somebody that's sitting there going, man, there's all these terms and backlinking ain't that hard, friends. I'm going to explain it to you right now. It's very simple to understand. It's not a hard process. It's just a process that you need to figure out a system and you need to execute the system. Just want to let you guys know that because I know some people go, man, this is so overwhelming because I had no idea what this stuff was. I didn't know how to build a website. I still use Weebly to this day, millions and millions of dollars later. So guys, let's talk about backlinks. Now, I've had this explained to me a few different ways, and I'm going to explain it the way that I understand it because it makes sense to me. And in the comments, if you don't understand it the way I'm explaining it, let me know. I can create another video to explain it, but it's very, very simple, okay? Most of the people watching this, I would assume, are going to be people that have graduated high school. Although, shout out to a few of even our students that are in high school that have just figured out life earlier than me and a lot of us that are in high school. You guys will still understand what I'm talking about, okay? But think back to high school or to your secondary school if you're not from the U.S. or whatever. And imagine and remember the time when you were in high school. Remember how everybody was in a box. And it's still kind of the same even after high school, college, etc. But let's just think about high school because it seems like that's when it's the worst. Everyone's in a box, right? If you are somebody who's always with the Cowboys, you are a cowboy, even if you don't care about cowboy stuff or cowgirl stuff. If all of your friends are into smoking, different substances, we won't mention names here, you are deemed or termed a druggie. Right? He's a pothead. If all your friends were jocks and on and on and on. And so we got put in these boxes. Well, the internet, my friends, is no different. And what happens is Google, their algorithms, they're trying to figure out your website. What is this website about and who and what box can we put them in? And so what we need to understand is whatever people or websites you are linked to or associated to is who Google assumes that you are. So let me give you an example. If you are linked to a bunch of just sketchy, schmucky websites that are spammy, etc., right? Guess what Google thinks that you are? They assume you are schmucky, spammy, etc. If on the opposite end of the spectrum, you will have backlinks from Forbes, Business Insider, the New York Times, entrepreneur.com. Who's Google going to assume that you are? Somebody important. And when I say you, I mean your website. Your website's important. It's associated with all these people. You are somebody that is now put in that box. So the people that are backlinked to you tells Google who you are. So the game becomes, how do we get backlinks from sources that are trusted by Google, that Google would say, hey, that person is trustworthy, that person does good business, that person is somebody that we like, and therefore you being associated, aka backlinked from or to that person, now lets us put you in that box, right? So backlinks, guys, is really, if you guys have ever read a blog, which we all have, if you ever read an article and you're reading along and it says, yeah, we talked about this on our other article, our other blog, or on, and there's a word that's highlighted or underlined, you can click on it, it takes you somewhere else. That's a link, okay? That is a link to somewhere else. So a backlink is when another website mentions you through your actual www dot, your domain, which would be a naked URL, or, and we're not going to get into all of the technical here, but, or with some form of anchor text. So sometimes it just says, click here. And that word here is actually what they call the anchor text. Now, we don't need to get too deep into the weeds. What you need to understand is that is what a backlink is. And so, my friends, if Google assumes that we are who we are backlinked to. The game then becomes, how do we go and get backlinks from trusted sources? How do we go get backlinks from high trust sources, which would be the equivalent of the most popular person in high school? How do we get the most popular person in high school to give us their stamp of approval, to sit with us in the cafeteria, to hang out with us, to tag us on a post, to then show everyone around that this is somebody that I'm associated with? That's all the game is, man. And in this video, I'm not going to go into exact strategies and tips and everything else. I just want to lay the groundwork for that is what a backlink is simply when you're reading on an article, you're reading on a blog, you see it, boom, you click on it, and it goes to another website. That's it. Very, very simple. And Google will just assume that you are who is linked to you. So you need to be very cautious about who you associate yourself with or who you get backlinks from. And I will say this as a last bonus tip. The sheer number of backlinks is not nearly as important as the quality of the backlinks. Let's use this example in real life. You would probably get a lot more credibility by taking a picture with a celebrity, right? Maybe you take a picture with Kim Kardashian and she tags you. That one photo has way more weight than having 10,000 nobodies that are following you, that are your friends, that tag you because they are, and of course they're not nobodies, but they're nobodies in the internet's eyes, in the social media's eyes. So remember that it's not about sheer volume of backlinks, it's about the quality. Now, if you could get a picture with 5 or 6 Kim Kardashian types, the game's over. Okay. So guys, that is Backlinks 101. This is something that you can actually rank your website without them. But adding the backlinks is kind of like the steroids, if you will, to really get your website to rank a lot quicker if it's kind of stuck in that no man's land between page 2 and 10, if you will. That's all I got on backlinks, guys. I'll see you soon.